Kensington. Uh-oh, there's that news van again. Actually, that's not Channel 6. That's their logo. Oh, here. Oh, good. Thank you. Very on brand. Today, we're going to be talking about people in the city riding scooters. People... There was a little accident. Well, not a little accident. There was the news is here. So it was a big news story. All right. So this is Elkin Grade School right here, right? Right down here is Rohrer Street. And if you go one block down, that's the house my mom lived in as a child. It's also the very first house I lived in as a baby. And then the first month I lived in that house, there was a bad storm and the roof blew off the house. So then I had to move around the corner to my other grandmother's house on Willard Street. So my mom lived here. I'll show you how close they were. Right down here. This is Ian Allegheny, home of the Belly Buster. Down here at Allegheny Ave. This is probably the busiest street in Kensington. Now you see that guy riding this scooter in the bike lane? That's one of the problems we have in Philadelphia. And let me start off by saying I am a scooter riding jerk off. Right? I ride my scooter like an absolute asshole. And I think Philadelphia has a problem. And the problem isn't... Well, I mean, we have a homeless problem, a drug problem, a litter problem, but we also have a responsibility problem. And I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about us as human beings. You know, the other day, I was riding my scooter like a jerk-off down the street, and I got hit by a car. And I immediately, I fell down, I got up, and it was my fault. So I apologized to the guy. I said, I'm sorry I did that to you. That's probably traumatic. I'm a jerk off. It's my fault. And I scooted off. Guy was like, you want my insurance information? I said, no, I don't have any. And it was my fault. Nice talking to you. I'm sorry I probably scarred you mentally. And I drove off. I took responsibility. Anyway, I'll get back to that later. This is the 600 block of Willard Street. And this is my favorite place on earth, actually. I come down here a lot. I mean, a lot. Kind of creepy. Like, I shouldn't stalk. I go to my grandmother's house way more than I go to her actual grave. Because this makes me, I feel her spirit here. If I go to the grave, it's just like, But anyway, this is my grandmom's house. And my dad lived here, too. And I lived here for a little bit. Anyway, that's how close my mom and dad lived to each other. My little brother, whenever I walk by here, this used to be like a little garden, and we would play Mary Lou Retting back here in 1984, and we would try to balance beam this, and my brother wasn't very good at being balanced, and he fell and lost 2 of his teeth. There's a little pretty neighborhood back here. Used to ride my bike from Port Richmond. My mom and dad got a house when I was like 5. We moved to Port Richmond. And I would ride my skateboard and bike. When I was like 9, I would just come down here. I would just go down Allegheny Ave. It was a safe street. I would just have to follow the 60 bus signs. So I got to be careful. Down here, there's some people doing some stuff. Just doing some stuff. Some of that Kensington stuff. We're about, let me see. Yeah, Kensington and Allegheny is all the way down there. It's about 2 lights, 4 blocks. And I haven't checked out Kensington and Allegheny. Maybe at the end of this scoot, I'll do a little ride around. So yeah, I think the personal responsibility thing is this guy yesterday was riding a scooter, and he wasn't riding it in the car lane. He was riding it in the center lane, and he was driving it just 2 blocks down from here. I'll show you the scene. Matter of fact, some of the debris from his scooter is still on the ground. And let me show you some more rock and roll history. You guys, I talked to you about my band, Public Urination, but right up here, I think the second house right there. That is where I was in my very first band. It was a heavy metal band. We were called Nimbus. And we did songs like Wild Thing up there in that room. I think, or was it this house? We would go and practice. If you heard me talk, I'm sure you can imagine. I can't sing very good. So I'm not a very good singer, but somehow I became the singer of Nimbus, and we did Wild Thing, which is it's a fine song. It's not that great, but it's fine. We had a song called, we were trying to be Pearl Jam, right? And we had a song, I don't even know what any of these, I don't even know if this is like a real sentence, but we had a song and it was like, hello streets of misfortune, anguished bodies confide. What the hell that even, what a horrible, I didn't write that. Tomorrow, yes, you will find I'm leaving you all behind. Keep in mind, the Phillies just had a 3-game homestand. The voice isn't that powerful. Look at this old building. Kensington back in the day used to be a lot of factories and industry, and during the I'll show you the accident. But back in the 50s and 60s, there was a lot of factories down here. There was a carpet factory. They made Stetson cowboy hats here in Philadelphia. Some of these big factories are just like, they just use a bay and it's just like an auto detailing shop. Yeah, but I remember a long time ago, maybe like 15 years, my time, ever since the pandemic, my internal clock is wrong. We're on Westmoreland Street. This is McVeigh Playground. Down there, that is Ascension Church. That's the church I was baptized in. My mom and dad, they got married. They tell you they got married, my mom and dad? See, one of the dilemmas of being a driver in Philadelphia, you don't know, like the motorcycle guys just like you see how this guy just cuts off? I'm surprised he waited for the green light. But they motorcycle people, ATV people, scooter people like me, we're jerk-offs, so we don't do things properly. And yesterday there was a guy riding his scooter in this center intersection here. You see where that van is making that turn. There's another guy. And the parking situation at this little intersection, the car was turning here, and there was cars parked here. I don't think this guy was grilling up, but there were cars double parked in front of this business. So, So the guy was riding his scooter down this center lane. He does the turn. I'm waiting for this goddamn car to turn. See how hard it is to turn? Man, it's a tough turn. See, you got to make that turn. The scooter got clipped. It crashed somewhere around here. You got some debris from the scooter accident. Might be the guy's sunglasses. So the guy on the scooter gets up and he's pissed off. You ever get hit by a car? It's kind of aggravating. And he's just so angry, he just takes a gun out and bang, 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 bang. He just shoots into he just shoots in the air. The person who hits him drives off, which is also another problem we have in the city. So many people drive off after accidents. So the guy's shooting in the air. He shoots 3 people. And fortunately, no one got killed. But yeah, I saw it, and I was like, that guy, I know you get angry after you get hit by a car, but sometimes you gotta like, I don't know, just take, I spend a lot of time in therapy. Sometimes you gotta like take a pause and think about it for a second. I have anger issues. I'm very honest. I know I have anger issues. Yeah, sometimes when you're seeing red, it's kind of hard to take pause, but I don't know. I just, I know what I think. Another problem is nobody knows how to shoot a gun in the city. People just Rose Hill and Clearfield, and there's another one of those old factories that I don't know what it could be. Here's a storage place. I used to work for a storage company, and just so you know, you don't need the storage. Just throw it out, unless it's Christmas decorations and you're really into Christmas. And, and that's the deal you make with your wife. Judy, I got to have all these Christmas decorations. Like if you're like a Mick Foley the wrestler, is a big Christmas guy. He has a whole house, a room to his house decorated Christmas 24/7, 365. Even on Easter, he's got Christmas decorations. Whatever you're going to store, it's you're going to pay its value within a year or two. Unless you're storing a car. Here's another one. Look at the architecture in this building. And it's a laundromat. Laundromat? Not laundromat. There's no I. Laundromat. Oh, I talk horribly. Just, every time I do a video, it's a achievement for mankind. Yeah, this is something they do in Kensington. Like, parking sucks, right? And you want to park in front of your house. You want to keep an eye on your car, right? So people they do this thing, it's called savesies. It's not necessarily legal, but see if I ever move a cone. Yeah, keep in mind, the dude got up and started shooting. I think this is a school right here at B in Allegheny. Oh, it's definitely a school. I see a crossing guard. I didn't know crossing guards were still a thing. I was a crossing guard. I was the captain of the crossing guards. Sometimes people get upset that I call myself a captain, and then I remind them that there's disc jockeys all across these United States named Captain. But yeah, I was the captain of the crossing guards, so it's not stolen valor. It's a real thing. There we go. Hookah lounges. They're still a thing, huh? Or maybe not. Doesn't look like it's open. I hooked once. Was it the, I don't get it. Maybe I hooked the wrong stuff. It's like smoking cigarettes. I didn't get high. I was like, what's the point, right? Check out this cross on top of this church. I love this little sculpture of I call it Trash Pick Jesus. I've been noticing these. Maybe when you drive around, see if you notice this. You ever see the phone sign, but no phone? Uh-oh. Oh, the weather's warm, so everybody wants to share the music they're listening to. Isn't that nice? Oh, here goes another. It's kind of like if you stand here all day, you can listen to a public radio station. Here's another old building that is now... Oh, there's a church back here, and it's a used appliance. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. Well, that wasn't a used appliance. That was a junkyard, which makes me think of Trash Pick Jesus. And if you look back there on this street, there's another one of those old buildings. But I don't know. Anyway, the personal responsibility thing, I think that's a big deal. I really think people just need to... I saw the other day, I saw this guy fighting with somebody from the parking authority. I think everybody in the world agrees, fuck the parking authority. But usually when you get a ticket, it's your fault. You did something wrong, right? You parked somewhere you shouldn't. The meter ran out. I see a lot of people who say they were standing by the car, but they didn't have any money in the meter, but they were standing next to it. I just saw a guy like walked up and down a block for like 20 minutes yelling at a parking authority person, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, and you never pull out a gun and shoot randomly in the air when you drive in. I'm gonna get killed. Drive in the center lane of Allegheny Avenue. Yeah, don't do that. That's your fault. Oh, by the way, the guy who shot the gun, he didn't get caught. So, yeah, there's that too. All right, here we are. Kensington, Allegheny Avenue. We're going up to Potter and Allegheny. So I've mentioned this before. There's a live stream of cameras on the corner building here. It's like a corner store. And if you watch that live stream, there are usually people hanging out here. You know, they're doing their thing, hanging out. And there's people on this side. I've noticed the live stream, they've been shooting down here a lot more than down here. It looks like police are making people, you know, you can't loiter. You can jaywalk, but you can't loiter. Yeah, not turning when there's, I mean, not that the cops stop you down here. But if you come down here, oh, you got some people with clipboards. Lots of cops. More clipboard, where you got, the barricades are still up in front of the businesses. There's a lot of, I'll tell you right now, this building's being renovated. There's another building right here. The Rodriguez Dollar Store, that's being renovated. I don't see any tents. And I think it was like 2 weeks ago they did this cleanup. And by cleanup, what they did is anybody who had an encampment or a tent set up, they made the tent, the city made them take their tent down, or actually they threw the tent out. They did give them a month's notice. They told people, if you want help, you gotta call this number. Here's some more construction happening on the Ave. Out of all the things I've ever seen in Kensington, this is the most disgusting thing. You're a jerk off! Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for you. Go ahead, you go do your thing. Yeah.